Currently, we are at the grounds of the University of Missouri here in Columbia, and right in front of you is Jesse Hall. This is a pretty famous and well-known building here in the city, and a lot of people come here to take pictures. Almost 75 years ago, two girls came to this very location and they asked somebody if they could take their picture. They sat on the grass somewhere right here where I'm standing at. They sat down, both of them, and they took this picture. Not long after that picture was taken, one 13-year-old Janet Chrisman would be brutally murdered. And some people would say that March 18th, 1950 murder was an inspiration for a 1979 movie called When a Stranger Calls. Two girls here just talking about their lives, talking about what they wanted to come here to school for, or maybe they wanted to go to a different school. Both had dreams, both wanted to grow up, become adults. Only one of them was given that chance. So today, we're going to visit the murder location of where that tragic event took place. This is the school where Janet used to attend. And at the school, she got really good grades. She was a member of the pep squad, the Girls Athletic Association, the Motion Pictures Club, and she was an officer of the Future Homemakers of America Club. So she was very, very active and engaged with school activities during and after. This was a child that had a very bright future laid out in front of her. Right behind these walls, a life once existed that was snuffed out. The week of March 18th, 1950, there was a party that was being thrown by one of the students that used to attend this school. I'm not sure if it was a birthday party or what have you, and Janet was invited. However, she didn't attend that party because she had put some clothes on layaway, and I guess she just wanted to be an adult like a lot of teenagers do, and she wanted to pay for the clothes herself. She had them on layaway and she wanted to earn some money so she can get them out. So she declined the invite to the party. She had scored a job babysitting for some friends of her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Ed Romack. At that time, 1950, they lived in an area of Columbia that there wasn't very many houses in that neighborhood. So she's supposed to be at their home at 7:30 p.m. And the Romacks, they want to get out of the house. They want to get away from the kids. So they had planned to go visit some friends of theirs not very far from where they lived to go play cards. So at 7:30 p.m., prompt, right on time, Janet shows up. And they're not going to be gone very long. They're only going to be gone maybe 3 or 4 hours, who knows, but Janet's a very responsible girl, and she can handle the responsibility of babysitting some kids. On that night, it's pretty cold outside. It's raining and the temperatures are in the mid to upper 20s. Janet gets to the home and the Romacks kind of, laid down the rules with her, when to put the kids to bed, so forth and so on. They say that, they're only going to be gone a few hours, but, when you're having fun and you get away from the kids, you could be gone a little bit longer. So they leave and they go to their friend's house and they play cards and probably have a couple drinks and talk about family stuff or whatever. And Ed Romack, he calls the home at around 10 o'clock just to, check up on everything, make sure everything is okay. And Nobody answered the phone. He didn't really think nothing of it because Janet had babysat before, so it wasn't like this was a new person where, something would be wrong or what have you. So he brushed it off and he continues, to go back to the party, and that's that. So they stayed a little bit longer than they wanted to. So around 12:30, they kind of realized that how much time has gone by that they've been at their friend's home. So they say, hey, we got to get out of here because it's getting late. So they leave their friend's home and they come back here. Now it's around 1 o'clock in the morning. And that house right in the middle of your screen, that is the home where the murder occurred. Now, immediately when they pull up to the home, they notice that something's wrong because I want to say that they said the porch light was on or it was off. It was one of those. It was supposed to be on or it was supposed to be off. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be on and it wasn't. So that kind of bothered them. So they all of a sudden they're getting a bad feeling about, I don't know, there's just something's not right. So they go through that door and into the home, and right in front of them they see Janet on the floor, covered in a pool of blood, with her skirt like hiked up over her waist. And immediately they call the police. And when they get here, a very, very grisly crime. A crime that no police officer ever wants to see. Janet's body was taken to the Boone County Coroner's Office for autopsy, and it was later determined that she died via strangulation. The implement used was an ironing cord, and she had several deep lacerations along her scalp. She was also sexually assaulted. Now, also a very sad fact about the case came out when it was determined that a call at around 10:35 to the police originating from the Romack home was placed by a female calling for help. Now, of course, she was screaming during the call. However, they were unable to trace the call to that location where she was brutally murdered. So they dusted for fingerprints and did as much work as they possibly could. The only suspect in the matter that ever came about was a man by the name of Robert Mueller, who was acquainted with the Romacks. His name came up because Ed Romack had claimed that Robert Mueller perhaps had said some kind of inappropriate comments about Janet's body and how well developed, quote unquote, she was. Now, they had talked to Robert Mueller about his whereabouts during that night, and they were concerned enough to want to question him further. Now, he did take a lie detector test, but honestly, even if the test did determine that there was some deception in his answers, they really didn't have any proof to convict him on any crime whatsoever. So he's always been looked at as a possible suspect in this case. However, he's long since been dead. I think he died about well over 15 years ago. And this murder also sounds familiar to a similar murder that took place 4 years previous to that. In 1946, barely a mile away from that murder location, a woman by the name of Mary Lou Jenkins was murdered basically in the similar fashion that Janet was. This is her final resting place. She's buried alongside her father right here. This is Charles Crispin. He died when he was only 60. I don't know how he passed. And this is Janet's mother, Lula Mae Crispin Kroll. She died back in 2009. And she did get remarried to another man. And of course, that man, he's buried in Indiana. He's buried with his first wife, and of course she's with her first husband. So probably when they got remarried, they probably both said that, we'll be buried with our first spouse. And the family owned a steak restaurant here in town for some time, and the restaurant business is a very tough business. So I'm pretty sure that Charles would have instilled some kind of responsibility in his kids, that you want to go out and make your own money, and something as innocent as just wanting to earn a couple dollars and make your own money tragically turned into this girl's murder. This has been a story that I've wanted to do for quite some time, and I don't know why it is, but every time I come to town, just something happens where I leave. And I was really fighting time because, as you can see, it's getting dark and the rain is supposed to come at around 5:30 or so. So I was really wanting to get this done before night fell, because I got to hit the road right now. And I feel that this story should have probably been longer, but I believe that I got my point across. Rest in peace to the Crispins. To have your 13-year-old daughter murdered like that, I can't imagine. I can't. All right, guys, I am out of here. It is basically going to be about 15 minutes before it gets completely dark, and I got to start heading towards Kansas City. A couple of videos that I've been wanting to do for a few years now, and they're there, and I hope to get it done while I'm over there. So I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.